Hello, this is Flea from the Red Hot Chilli Peppers.
Kate and Joel.
Can't stop addicted to the shindig.
Hi, how you doing?
Mate, it's so good to speak to you again. You're not going to remember this because I'm sure you do lots of things, but about 20 years ago, do you remember launching a radio station, you, Anthony, John, and Chad in Perth?
I don't.
Oh, come on. I've been dining out on this story my whole life.
Are we on? Is this radio station going? All right.
It's not on.
My name is Anthony. I'm here with Tim. Hello. The new DJ for Nova.
The first day.
Well, we're excited then.
We're excited.
Don't you remember that movie with, what's that movie with Robert De Niro and Charles Grodin? When he goes, I got 2 words for you. Shut the fuck up.
On the first day of a radio station?
Say fuck? Is that okay?
That actually makes me remember it. I do remember.
Because you all actually got to...
I still find great pleasure in that scene of that movie.
And my voice is a bit deeper, and I think on that day too, you did actually call my mum on air.
Tim, get your mom on the line.
Mum.
Hello.
Hi. What's your name?
Heather.
Heather, how long did Tim breastfeed for?
3 months.
For 3 months, that's all?
Yeah.
Well, because he's remarkably stout, and I thought that, it looked like he had been... Usually people that are that healthy have been breastfeeding for some time.
And I know you've just had another baby. Congratulations. Is it rude if I ask? Is your new little bundle of joy being breastfed?
That little rocker is rocking on the titty all day long. Like nobody's business. Sucking away like a champion. I told him, I said, look, these titties, you're obsessed with them right now. But it's going to be a lifelong obsession, so get used to it.
Yeah, that's right. Could I ask how old is he now? Because was he born in December? So only very, very fresh, right?
Yeah, he's 6 weeks old.
Okay, is that why you've decided to go on a world tour? Because you knew you were going to have another little baby, or is the baby joining you?
The tour... No, it actually causes me great melancholy in my heart to be away from him. The tour was booked long before the baby was booked. But luckily, our biggest break in tour took place right in the perfect time to have the baby, so it was good.
Well, we're so excited to have you out here. You kick off in Brisbane. You're doing stadiums again, which is fantastic. You've been doing stadiums on this tour. I mean, I know this is the most boring question in the business, but I have to ask, now that John's back in the band, I mean, what was it like? I think your first show back together was in Spain. What was that like? Because, I mean, you guys are just, you kind of work so in sync together that it must have just been like breathing again.
Yeah, it really was. I mean, for us, every step of our career and outside of the very rare missteps, everything has kind of flown organically from where we're at, what we're doing, and everything has always felt like just kind of where we're supposed to be, doing what we're supposed to be doing. And that's just another one of those cases. I think people often ask, don't you get nervous? And how does it feel to go out and play a stadium full of, 80,000 people or 50,000 or whatever, however many? To be honest, I think had somehow when we were young or we were a boy band or at some point early on, if we had just had some massive hit and all of a sudden we're playing stadiums, I think it would be really weird. But we've just always built slowly, step by step, brick by brick, building this thing for the last 40 years. And each record, each tour, it just always gets a little bigger. And it just seems like the nature of what happens if you can stick to something long enough. And, of course, you got to write hit songs and you got to be a good act live. But it's just always felt natural and organic. And for us, we just stay focused on the work and give everything we can, sweat, blood on stage to entertain the people and give them everything we've got to be the greatest rock band on earth. And that's always been our goal. And we're always yearning and reaching and working and trying.
I think you particularly, though, are the fittest and give the most and of the blood and the sweat. I mean, look, Chad gives you a run for your money, I think. But you specifically, are you the fittest you've ever been? Because I've seen some clips of this tour currently, and I've seen you live over 10 times in different parts of the world. I mean, it's not like I've never come away from a show going, Flea didn't really bring it today. You're doing that hundreds of times a year. Are you the fittest you've ever been?
I don't know. I can't really compare myself now to other times. My body works good.
Yeah.
I'm grateful for that. For me, and for us as a band, this is not just like something we're doing to be famous or get money or something. I mean, otherwise we would have stopped a long time ago. This is our life's work. This is our life's mission. This is what we do. Like every time we go on a stage, it's a sacred time, and I play every show like I'm going to walk off stage and face a firing squad, and this is going to be the last thing I'm ever going to be able to do. And that's always been the attitude. Play every note like it's your last. Go up there. And, I want to honor the people. People work hard. People get up early and they work all day to make money. And them buying a ticket to come to our concert, I don't take that lightly. We don't take that lightly. Like, we want to give them everything that we've got. We want to honor them and honor their, them coming to see us play.
I mean, it shows, though, now that John's back in the band too, that, releasing 2 albums in 1 year, both 17 tracks each, there must have been so much in you guys that you wanted to get out there. I mean, was there much culling involved, or did you just try and put as much as you can out to everybody as quick as you can? Because 2 brilliant albums and 2 completely different albums, and so quickly in succession, that's not really happened before with a band your size.
Oh, well, thank you. I'm glad you like them. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe not. I mean, I think, back in like the 60s, bands used to crank out albums pretty quick sometimes. But, definitely some culling. I mean, like through the whole process, like we just play music all day long. Like we'll get in a room and we'll play for 5 hours, and there's 5 hours of music right there. So, it's for us, it's we're always playing, and the whole process is an editing process. Whether it's writing a song and it starts off 15 minutes long and we cut it down, you know what I mean? We just try to find the essence of it and organize it in a way that it becomes a listenable song with a beginning, a middle, and an end, and then just having songs that we finish completely. And, certainly if we put out 17 on an album, there's at least 30, that we're choosing from. In this case, the songs that we finished and mixed all the way through, we felt pretty strongly about most all of them. So there's not a lot of songs sitting around that we completely finished that we didn't put on. There are some, there'll definitely be more released in the future. We love playing music, man. As you certainly John coming back to the band, he's very prolific. He's a river of creativity, and ideas and sounds and textures and feelings are always flowing out of him. And we all are. We're all, we just work, man. It's what we do. And so there you have it. There's the music. It's just, we just love it. We care about it. We want to share it with the world.
I think, and this could be completely wrong because this is just my taking, but Unlimited Love, when that came out, I thought, this is a big Chili Peppers studio album with just big hooks and it's huge, already anthemic songs. And then when Return to the Dream Canteen came out, I felt like I was just in the room with you and you were just doing whatever you wanted. Is that a fair, as I said, this is just my opinion. I haven't read that anywhere. Gosh, that's interesting. I never thought of it like that. And maybe it is that, and I'm not able to have that perspective because I'm too close to it. Because you're in the band?
For us, I could pick songs that flow together well, in both cases. And it might be that the first one is more anthemic and the second one is more, self-indulgent, but I don't know. I can't see it. I just don't have that perspective. I'm not clear enough, or I'm too close to the forest to see the trees.
Yeah.
But that's interesting.
Coming back home though, I have to say as well, and I'm not just saying this, my copy of Acid for the Children is probably the most used copy in history. I've lent this book to so many people saying you must read this book. I haven't spoken to you since it came out, but how was it releasing a book like that? Because I think you even say at the start, look, you're not a writer. This is just my honest truth. But these stories, the writing was beautiful. I've recommended it to everyone. I've also asked them to buy their own copy, just so you know, so don't worry. But how did that feel, getting some of those stories out into the world? Well,
thank you so much for reading it, firstly, and taking the time. it was terrifying. Absolutely the most terrifying thing I've ever done is write a memoir and put it out. Because I knew to write one, I had to be completely honest. I knew that I wouldn't hire a ghostwriter, that I would write it all by myself. And so it was terrifying, like, one, to make myself that vulnerable by being honest about who I really am. And two, because I love literature. I love books. Like, since I'm a little boy, I read and I read and I read and I never stop. And it's such an important thing to me, and just to honor the literary canon, to honor the great writers that come before, and to, like, throw my hat into the ring and say, okay, I've never written a book, but I'm going to write it, and I'm going to write it by myself. And I'm going to try to articulate feelings that are, for me, very profound, and try to find the rhythm of how to do it, and that's what I did. So I'm really happy with what I wrote, and it means a lot to me that you cared enough to read it and share it with other people. Thank you.
No, I absolutely love it, and it's a beautiful book. When you're in New Zealand now, but obviously there's a lot in the book at the start about you growing up here in Australia. You don't have to give us the actual locations, but you just in general terms, when you come here, are there places that you come and visit? Are there people that you connect with? Like, do you still feel like this is still a part of you, this country?
Very much so. I've always imagined myself coming back to live in Australia, and also imagine, like, had life taken a couple of different twists. Like, had my parents not gotten divorced, I never would have left Australia. Yeah. Outside for a few years when I was a kid for my dad's work. Whenever I'm in Australia, and I go a lot, I feel a deep connection, and it's something that it's not something that's beyond I don't know if it's my ability to articulate it, or something that I can understand. I guess it's just that childhood when you live a pillar of who you are that form your senses, your nervous system, your worldview. And though I left Australia when I was 4, and I lived in the United States ever since, whenever I'm in Australia, I always feel like, oh, I'm home. I'm in this place, and this is not just a place I'm going. This is me. And I love it there. I absolutely love it. And if it wasn't for my band, I would probably be living there.
Yeah. Well, our surf is better than the US, isn't it? You have to say that at least.
Yeah, the surfing's pretty good in Australia, but, in Malibu and California, we have it pretty good.
Yeah, all right.
Gotta say.
Yeah, you do.
Gotta say, I'm riding a lot of waves.
Well, we think of you as our own, and also an Aussie fan worked this out. I'm not sure if you knew this, but when you play the Perth show February 12, keeping in mind that you do play Give It Away in every show up until Perth, you would have played it for 1,000 times live in Perth on February 12.
Is that right? Is that where's that math come from? I like it. Who did that? A fan?
Yes, a fan worked this out. They'll have the if you play Give It Away in every show from now until Perth on February 12 at Optus Stadium, you would have played it 1,000 times live.
Well, I doubt very much that they're right, only because we've probably played shows that they don't know about. We often do like little fundraisers and things that people don't know about.
Yeah.
So, but it is possible the guy might be that meticulous in his research that he knows when we go to like play something for a food bank and in the hood, he might know. So I that's incredible.
Yeah. Well, let's go with it anyway. It sounds good. Awesome. Look, we're so excited to have you back here. I will just mention at the end here, you've toured with one of my other favourite bands, The Strokes. You played with St. Vincent. You're getting huge support acts on this show, and you're bringing someone equally huge to Australia with you, touring with Post Malone. What's your connection with him? I've seen him live before. He blew me away. It was kind of just one man on stage rocking out with a guitar. Like, he is a presence. We can't wait to see you guys sharing a stage.
Yeah, he's a good dude. And, we're honored to play with him. We like him. And look, man, we're coming. We're bringing everything we got, and let the festivities begin.
Yep, they begin here on Sunday in Brisbane, then 2 shows in Sydney. I'll be at one of those. Melbourne for 2 shows, finishing off in Perth, where you may or may not be playing Give It Away for 1,000 times live. Let's just go with it, but sounds
I would say the odds are high.
The odds are high.
The odds are high, and I'm going to be thinking about it. For the 1,000th time, I'm going to have to do,
I hope you remember how it goes.
My nose or something.
Yeah.
What?
I hope you remember how it goes.
I think I know that one.
Yeah, good.
It's A minor, right? A minor.
Yeah, that's it. Also, being in New Zealand,
Okay, great.
you know that the Lakers are playing the Clippers in like an hour and a half. Do you know? Have you got your methods to be able to watch that?
Oh, that's tomorrow.
Oh, it says today at 2 p.m., but that might be
today.
the internet. Okay, well, that's all right. There you go. That's tomorrow then.
Yeah, no, tomorrow in about an hour and a half from whatever time it is now, but in 24 hours tomorrow. That's going to happen. I watch every single Laker game. I do not miss a Laker game.
How are they going this year? Are they doing all right?
They have not been doing all right, and it causes me great emotional distress. But they're bringing it together. They're getting some guys back from injury. They're kind of building momentum at the right time. They just made a cool trade. Got the only Japanese player in the NBA, Rui Hachimura. And I hold out high hopes for a lot of success. And I don't want to jinx it, but I got a good feeling in my heart, a little purple and gold pitter-patter thumping away in my chest.
Well, mate, I really appreciate you giving me your time today. It's an honour and lovely to speak to you 20 years later after you spoke to my mum asking if she was breastfed. Look, it's amazing how things come full circle.
Well, please give your mum my best.
I will.
And thanks a lot for having me.
Of course. We'll see you out here next week. Can't wait.
All right, I know.
Kate, Tim and Joel.